This video was made possible thanks to our Patreon supporters.
Jessica was a sweet little girl, at 6.5 years old, and held Matt, her big brother, in great admiration. Matt is 17 years old and considering options for education. University sounded good. Jessica was pretty tall for her age, standing at 3'8". She would probably be a bit taller than average height when she grows up. Jessica seemed to greatly enjoy growing taller, something Matt hoped wouldn't develop into a paraphilia after puberty hit her.
Hey, big bro! What are you doing?
Oh, she wants something. Relaxing.
Can you measure me, big bro? I think I might have grown again.
It's been about a week since I last measured Jessica. If she's really in the middle of a growth spurt, it couldn't hurt to check how fast she was growing. Alright, Jessica, let's use the height chart on the wall in your bedroom.
Matt entered his sister's room, which was dominated by the color pink. The walls were covered in pink wallpaper, her bed sheets were pink, most of her clothes were pink, and an absolutely huge inflatable unicorn, 7'7" tall, stood against one wall. Jessica had received it as a birthday present when she realized why she couldn't have a real pony, and requested an inflatable version. Jessica lined up straight against her height chart, and he used a pen to mark her height. 4'1".
Hang on a minute. Jessica, can you stand against it again? I may have recorded the wrong height. She really is 4'1". She's grown 4 inches taller in a week.
Jessica simply seemed happy with her growth and hugged Matt, now much stronger. She then hugged the inflatable unicorn, causing squeaks to fill the air. A week later.
Bro, can you measure me again? Please?
Oh, alright. But just because I want to see how big this freakish growth spurt has made you.
Matt heads to Jessica's room and has her line up against the growth chart. She was now 4'9", as tall as a girl twice her age. Jessica hugged Matt, far stronger now, and he began to dread her next spurt, which, as it turned out, happened to be the next week.
Bro, come here.
Matt opened the door to her room and found he was staring into Jessica's eyes. He stepped back to compare himself to her, and she was an inch taller than him, as she now stood 6'1" tall. Her face splits into an ever-increasing grin as she realizes this fact, and she leaps forward, engulfing Matt in a hug.
How did she grow so much? She's as tall as an adult now. Wait, at this rate, she was going to grow another 32 inches taller by next week, which would put her at 8'9" inches. The ceilings in this house are exactly 9 feet tall, so we have another week at best before she completely outgrows the house.
Jessica wrapped Matt in a bone-crushing hug, stronger than him now, and glances at her beloved inflatable unicorn, knowing she would be taller than it by next week, minimum. Suddenly, Jessica lurches 3 inches taller, confusion dominating her face, which quickly turns to joy as she continues to slowly expand. Her costume seemed to be growing with her, and now 6'9", Jessica easily lifts Matt into a hug. Her face seemed slightly different somehow, and suddenly, her growth spurt ended in a huge surge, putting her at the estimated 8'9". After a few moments, Jessica suddenly drops to her knees before rolling onto her back. She maneuvers her head around the inflatable and begins to breathe into its air port, causing it to squeak as it begins to expand well past its normal size limit. It gets to the point where it is the same size as her, and still she forces it to blow up bigger and bigger, taking up almost all of the room. Suddenly she stops inflating the unicorn, as a look of excitement crosses her not quite childish anymore face.
Brother, I'm gonna need a bit more space. Can you get outside? Don't hurt you, please?
As she said that, Matt saw the unicorn shrinking? No. Jessica had just grown another 6 inches and was still growing. Not wanting to be squished by his expanding little sister, he quickly headed out the door.
Well, now, this is getting a little bit tight. Sorry, guess we should have looked into getting a bigger room for the both of us.
Moments later, Matt was outside in the backyard and found much to his relief that Jessica was okay. In fact, she didn't seem to have a scratch on her. Nor did her unicorn for that matter. Her face had also matured into like that of a teenager, likely about Matt's age, if slightly younger, but the other obvious change was her height. She had grown to just over 14 feet tall, more than twice his height.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're safe. For a moment, I was worried I might hurt you back there. That would never do.
On the one hand, it felt nice that she still cared about Matt despite being so big. On the other...
Jessica? I'm glad to see that you're safe as well and all, but what are we going to do about the giant hole in the side of the house?
Would you have preferred that I break through my door or possibly the ceiling? Because I'm pretty sure that would have been worse.
Well, no. But still, if Mom and Dad see the damage to the house, they're gonna freak.
Like when you smashed the window?
Yeah, except way worse as you've destroyed most of the wall.
I think I can fix it.
Matt looked at his just over 14-foot tall sister oddly. More so than when this all started. Then again, things weren't exactly adding up. Seeing his look, she continued.
What? I could probably at least put most of the pieces back in place. We need a ton of white glue, though. Oh, and not to mention that you'd still have to paint the other side pink.
Why me?
Because I'm too big to fit in there now, silly. And I don't think I'm even remotely done growing.
She replied, grinning. Clearly she was enjoying growing bigger, but that last part indicated she wouldn't stop or go back, even if she could control her growth. And that's the end of part 1. Join us next Monday for the second part of Jessica and Matt's growing adventure. Did you enjoy this part? Tell us down in the comments. Bye for now.